What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are still doing well, and we are continuing on with our little series that we started yesterday when I listed out Seattle Seahawk cut candidates, players that might make sense to move on from via cut or maybe trade. So now we're going to continue down the line here, and this is going to be all about restructuring candidates. And this is a little bit of a complicated concept, so I'm going to try to explain it the best I can. If you have a player in the NFL that has multiple years left on their deal and a non-trivial base salary, you have the ability to push a portion of their current cap hit out into future seasons to reduce the cap hit that you currently have them on. And the Seahawks this year have several players they can do this to, way more than last year. So we're going to be talking about that in this video. All right, guys, hold up, because my friends at Sleeper are introducing some new features, and I want to tell you guys about them before we go any further. Sleeper is launching Team Picks, a new prediction market product. So now, on top of all the over-unders you can pick over on their Sleeper app, you can now pick on games. For instance, if you take a look to my left on the screen right now, you can see you can make a pick on the Super Bowl. They also have some bonuses available on over-unders for players. So there's now way more stuff you can get up to over on Sleeper. Get on over there before the Super Bowl, and don't forget to use the promo code SBN for a 100% match up to $100 on your first deposit. And don't forget to utilize the free $20 entry that you get just for making an account. So the Super Bowl is almost here. Make sure you get on Sleeper and have some fun with sports. All right, so here are the players we can do it to, and I'll try to walk through the process here. So first you have Sam Darnold. His cap hit for 2026 is about $38 million. His base salary is $12.3 million. Now, he has 4 years left on his current contract. And some people are going to be confused by that. Remember, he had void seasons. So we have 2 years left of Sam Darnold. And then after those 2 years, we have 2 void years that have like 6.4 million in dead cap each. I think it's 6.4. So the contract is 4 years remaining, even though he'll be a free agent in 2 years because we used void years on Darnold. Now, in the NFL, you do have a minimum required base salary, and for a player of Darnold's veteran experience, it is 1.3 million. So what that means is that you can convert 11 million of the base salary to bonus, okay? Because 12.3 minus 1.3 is 11. So you have to leave 1.3. The other 11 can be converted. And what that means is that you take that 11 million, divide it up into 4, and put 1/4 of it into each of the 4 years left on the deal. So 11 million divided by 4 is 2.75 million. So you take away 11, but you re-add 2.75, which means the new cap hit for Sam Darnold becomes 29,650,000, and the cap savings from where it is right now is 8.25 million. So by doing this, you save 8.25 against the 2026 salary cap, and you push that 8.25 into 2027, 2028, 2029. And each year is going to get an additional 2.75 million, which I'm going to say it again. It's pretty minor in the grand scheme of things. So if you think you can use that 8.25 million wisely, not a bad idea to do it. Okay, so that is Sam Darnold. Let's look at some of the other guys we can do this to. Kupp. Cooper Kupp, cap hit about 17.5. Base salaries, basically 13 million. He's got 2 years left on his deal. The convertible base is 11.7 million approximately. 11.7, which means you cut that in half. You put half of it in this year, half of it next year. By the way, this should actually be 2026, my bad. So half of 11.7 is going to be about 5.85 million. The new cap hit becomes 11 and 5/8, which means you're saving almost $6 million against the cap. And you're pushing that into 2027, which isn't great. But if you really want to try to get down and have more money to spend this year, it's viable. Remember, NFL teams have windows. You might feel like 2026 is a year to go for the repeat, and maybe 2027 is going to be a little bit of a tougher year, but you're cool with that as long as you completely empty out the tank for 2026. I mean, the Eagles have been doing this for a little while now, and they're going to continue to do it. Works out pretty well for the Eagles, right? They won the Super Bowl a year ago. They are still a good team, and they give themselves consistent chances to compete. Okay, Julian Love is another player we can do this to. His current cap hit is about 12.9 million, base salary of 8.3. So the convertible base is 7 million. Chop it in half, 3.5 in each this year and next year, which brings the new cap hit down to 9.4, which means you're saving 3.5 million against the cap if you do this in full. And that's another thing, by the way. You don't have to do a full restructure. You can do a partial restructure. So these cap savings are the maximum. So 3.5 million. Okay. DeMarcus Lawrence, you could do it to him as well. Current cap hit is about 11.8 million. And 8.15 million is base. So the convertible base is 6.85. So you chop it in half. It's about a little less than 3.5 million. And the new cap hit is now 8.36 million, which means the cap savings for 2026, if you do this, is 3.4 million. So again, by itself, not huge, but 3.4 million, I mean, that pays for most of your rookie class, right? 3.4 million actually pays for most of your rookies. 3.4 million could be, the first year cap hit of a Josh Jobe contract. So there is some consideration to doing this. Ernest Jones, cap hit of about 11 million in 2026. Base salaries just under 8 mil. The convertible base is about 6.7 million. So chop that in half across the 2 years of the deal. And you can get his cap hit down to 7.6 million. So that's going to save you about 3.3. Pretty good, pretty workable. Abe Lucas, current cap hit for 2026 is 10.4 million, just over. The base is 6.6, but he's got 3 years left on his deal. So the convertible base, 5.4, you chop that into thirds, and then you spread it out across the next 3 years. So the new cap hit, if you restructure, goes to 3.8, and the savings are about 3.6 million. So not insignificant. I don't think you want to restructure a deal that you just signed last year, but there is money to be had if you do it. And the final guy, Jaron Reed, and this guy has 2 years left on his deal as well. 3.4 million cap hit. Most of it's in base, about 5.5. He's got 2 years left on his deal. The convertible base is 4.2. Chop it in half, 2.1, which means you bring his cap hit down to 5.3, a little less than 5.3 million, and you're saving 2.1 million. Again, not a ton, but this could make or break maybe like a mid-season trade, right? Maybe you hold on to this one until you get to mid-season. You're up against the cap. You want to make a trade for a nose tackle or a safety. Maybe you restructure Jaron Reed and the 2.1 million kind of pushes you over the edge. Okay, so those are all the players on the team that you could reasonably restructure. There are technically a couple others, but their base salaries are already pretty low, and the money you save is insignificant. So I didn't include that. I wanted the savings to be at least over 2 million. And those are the options. So who are we doing? Now, for me personally, I would be pretty open to restructuring Sam Darnold if we don't, and honestly, even if we extend him, I still might be willing to do that, get that cap hit down a little bit. He's going to be the quarterback for a little while anyway. I would also be open to doing it with Julian Love and Ernest Jones. Those would be the main guys that I'm trying to do this with. Maybe Abe Lucas, but I'm a little bit unsure about that one because we did just sign him to an extension, and it's I mean, it's a 3-year deal, which spreads it out more, which makes me like it a little bit more. It feels a little bit weird to already restructure Abe Lucas when you gave him a 3-year extension on top of the 1 year he had left. But I think that's viable. I'm not going to close my mind to it. And yeah, you can save, what is this, 8.25. You do it to Julian Love, you're up to almost 12. Ernest Jones, 15. Abe Lucas, you can get up to about 19 million. That makes a big difference if you want to go that way. And 2026 is going to be a go for it year. You got to try to defend that title, man. All right, I'm going to go and get on out of here. Let me know what you guys think. Those are the restructure candidates for the Seahawks. See you guys later. Go Hawks. Everybody have a good rest of your day.